Amazing as always. Even when I push Facebook first, it always does videos slower than YouTube. Interesting. Hey everybody, it's Lewis Porter Jr. Here we are for another lovely episode of Transparency Agenda. And tonight I'm going to tell you this is going to be a short one. I've had a horrible day. I wanted to punch several people in the face that I couldn't. So that upsets me because I don't want to do any jail time. That's my thing, I keep debating, like, I just want to punch people in the face and get away from these people. But you can't seem to do that these days. There's some whole law thing against it. And then I found some more information that made me even madder. So I just sent somebody an email about some stuff. So it's just, just one of those days. It's, every day isn't great. But there's some days that are really, really absolutely horrible. And I'm pretty sure today's one of those just bad days. So, yeah. Hey, George, what's going on? So I'm going to focus on making this a good day by talking about something we've already talked about, but at the same time, talking about this thing that we keep talking about. All right. Hey, Jason, what's going on? So today we're going to talk about Patreon because I got some good news. Here's some good news. Actually, let me start out with even some good news. So everybody's thinking like, oh God, it's going to be a downer episode. No, it's actually going to be a really good episode. So first off, hey, Alex, I just got a notification from RPG Now. Hey, Jason, what's going on? The other Jason. We have just gotten back we just got approved by, it's Lightning Press now to get our print-on-demand books done, which is great because I was a little worried about the cover and I wasn't sure if the cover was going to come across well. And so like one of those moments of, oh, great, the cover came across well. That's good. So I'm going to get myself a copy of the black and white version sent to me. When I get it here, I'll show it all off to you. I'll show you how the printing looks because I'm kind of interested. I haven't put the color version up because I wanted to see about the black and white, but I might put it up later on today because I'm not doing anything tonight. So maybe I'll do that as my plan of work. So I want to see how the printing's changed. And I'll put a video up so you all can see the differences and the color and the black and white and the pages. And I'm probably going to do a hardcover with them too. So doing lots of different versions of it so you can see, pretty cool how it is. And I'm pretty excited by that. So that's kind of cool. Also we got our level 2 map back from our cartographer for Infinite Dungeon. That's going very, very well. I'm very excited about Infinite Dungeon. Everybody, we are really working. I'm actually saying we, but really other people are working very hard on it. I just get to sit there and say, I like this, I like that. That's what a true professional does. Yeah. I get to say, I think we should do this, and they go to me, that's a dumb idea. So it's all fair. That's how I see that. So that's kind of good. We got the second map back. The second level, I think, just came in. But we make some changes because I was stupid. So we're going to make some changes on that one. And that's going to go back to the writer. But those aren't major changes. These are like actually kind of easy changes. So we're good with that. Anything else fun and interesting that's coming in the mail? Let me see if I can see real quick because I always got to remember this stuff. No, we've really got that. What is this? Oh, that's the email. I got to actually stop reading. It's an email from my son's school. That's always important too. Yeah, that's about all going on. I haven't even really been like looking for artists lately. I've just been really kind of focused on just getting stuff out because you get to a point you're going to get more stuff out and produce more stuff because, the more stuff you produce, the more sales you make. And, it's all interconnected. So I really want to get NeoExodus done. Once that's done, I can move on to Crisis and get that done and move that out and then focus solely on Infinite Dungeon. So I think that'll be cool. So yeah, I'm pretty happy. Hey Brian, what's going on? I'm pretty happy of how it's going. I still got to tussle some stuff out, but you know how it is, man. You're busy. Everybody's busy. So there you go. So let's talk about. It's one of those weird things. Patreon has become even more and more popular than when I first said it. Hey Jeff, a while back. Today, I think it was announced, or today I saw it. Let me just make sure he's actually in there. I want to confirm. Did I misspell? Yes, I almost did. Oh, there it is. So I got a notice today from Owen Casey Stevens, and Owen's like, hey, well, more like he just, and that's everybody, but he's like, hey, here's somebody else who's got on Patreon, and it's Jason Bullman. And I'm like, oh my God, I know Jason Bullman. I'm sure we all know who Jason Bullman is, but Jason Bullman is now on Patreon. And I think this is the moment, and I'm going to use Jason as my moment, as I'm going to call it, the tipping point. And this is not the tipping point that's going to fall over, mess up. It's about like the tipping point that I think Patreon is going to be the next big thing. Jason Bullman is doing a Patreon, and he goes, "It's creating a dramatic RPG campaign for Pathfinder." Now, I don't know about you, but I'm kind of interested. You know, this Bullman guy, I've heard of him. He's done some stuff before. He might be good. He might be qualified. I've heard rumors. So I'm kind of interested in what's he going to write about. What's he going to do? Because, I mean, you know, I don't think a lot of people understand this sometimes. When you're a publisher, you see a lot of your own stuff. And, you know, of course, you love your own stuff. It's like your own children. Hey, you know, hey, I like it. I like it. At the same time, it's like, oh, I wonder what they're doing differently. Because, you know, you don't always get to see everybody doing different stuff. And you can't always keep up with people doing different stuff. You know, like, you know, okay, like, so we're talking about this other stuff going on with Jason Bullman. It's Patreon. And see, I got this other window up. This is how crazy my life is. I got this other window up. I'm looking at Salt in the Wound Kickstarter. Another Kickstarter that I thought was interesting when I first saw it. And I'm like, oh, where's it going now? So I'm following that too. So I think when there's new stuff out there, we just naturally follow it and say, oh, what's going on? What is he doing? What are they doing? What is this person doing? Oh, I got to get on this. What's this? You know, so it's a lot of that going on, which is really kind of good for us because, A, look, man, it's busy. We're all busy. We're all busy. You know, I'm a full-time worker. I got a part-time business, and I got a young son, and I got my own life. You know, so it's like we're very busy, and it's tough to get everything in as quick as you'd like, and you know, to see everything you'd like. And it's just a lot of moving parts. You know, it is what it is, and it can get kind of crazy. And I use that really euphemistic. It can get kind of crazy. No, more like it can get lots of crazy. Because life can be busy, and you can be busy, and things will happen, and you'll be like, oh no, I got enough time to do this and this, and you don't have enough time to do this and this. And you know that because you just don't. You just don't. You know, so to get information about other people's stuff is always a good thing. All right, so I'm trying to type all this stuff for all these notes because you all know that I'm all about the notes. I don't know if I got into that. So all right, so let's check out since we're. Hey, Jason, it's not, Jason, look, you're kind of a good guy. I've heard rumors that you're a friendly guy. Plus, you know Owen. So if you know Owen, you automatically get an automatic cool guy pass already. But then, you know, I've been to enough of your speeches to know he's a fun guy. It's going to probably remind me of, and I know people will probably agree with this. I think that it's going to probably, your site might be as interesting as Clinton Boomer's is. I think Clinton Boomer's one of my favorites. Everybody knows that. I'm a big Clinton Boomer fan. I've rah-rahed him all the thing. But I think seeing Clinton Boomer do his own personal stuff that's more, you know, personal to him, I think you get to see a lot of different stuff in design you don't always get to see in the traditional stuff you have to do. So it's a lot of fun to see, like, oh, what cool thing am I going to see that I don't expect to see? What cool thing is he going to do that is not, you know, you're going to see in the normal everyday thing? It's kind of like the closest analogy I can go with is, this tells you how old I am too, Red Fox. Anybody in my age group watch Red Fox? Watch Sanford and Son. Sanford and Son was a very funny show. But if you've ever seen Red Fox actually live show, it is like it is very, very blue. I mean, it's like, whoa, that's not the old guy that's on the funny show. He's like, no. He's like, no, this isn't that show. This is my show. So it's a very different type of thing. So it's kind of nice to see what you do when you kind of you don't have the restraints of, you know, business and stuff like that, you know, when you get to be as creative as you want to be, you know, because for me, I mean, out of my creativity, I mean, I got NeoExodus. You know, I might have done something else. Nah, I'm not kidding. NeoExodus would have been what I've done anyway. I mean, but that's what I would have done. Come on, let's not kid anybody. Because I wanted that to be my version of fantasy. So that's why I did it. And, you know, you see people who do all kinds of stuff like that. So Jason's, I'm sure, is going to be just as excellent, interesting. Let's critique it. So let's critique it now. Let's see what's going on. Okay, first of all, what I do like, he's a $1 reward level. So boom, $1. You receive all the PDF files on the NPC. Okay, it's not so bad. For $1, you can do pretty well. You get access to spoiler free. Okay, that's kind of cool. For $5, you get all adventure PDFs for the Edge of Evertide campaign, but none of the character files. Oh, I wonder. This is perfect GMs. Oh, it's a GM level. Hence it says Game Master. I should have been paying attention. Receive all the GM stuff. Okay, it's smart. $10 or more. Eventide. I said Evertide. Eventide Master. The GM has it all, plus you get the adventure and all 6 character files. You also get access to the well, since I got Jason on here. Hey Jason, are these the character files? Are they going to be also files you can use for Hero Lab? I couldn't get it out for a second. If you, that would be good to know if you could just mention that. You know, that's interesting. $25 or more, you get the benefit. So you also gain access to controlled design forum, which is always good if you want to find out what's going on behind the scenes. Very important. You'll be, yep, that's always important. That's a good one. Look, if you want to understand more of the business stuff besides just watching this show, I think that's a pretty good level. Everybody knows how I feel about when Sean K. Reynolds did his thing, $50, which I thought was the best $50 I spent in the industry on anything. So anytime you can get really a look behind the scenes, do yourself a favor, spend the money. It's worth it to you to understand what's going on. Very important. $100, that's for you big ballers. That's $100 a month. He's going to work with you up to 1,000 words of content for you. You know, that's if you, that's a big baller one. Not everybody can afford $100 a month. I know I can. I'm not going to, you know, I just can't afford it. Look, I got a kid who wants to eat. Come on, he eats a lot. You'd be surprised. But there are some levels in here that are very reasonable, which I think is very important. You need to have reasonable levels. There's also some links to the edge of Eventide. Let's find out if they get some free stuff, because you know I'm all about the free stuff. Oh, good. There's a blog set up on Minotaur Games, so you can read about it. You can fund it. There's actually a professionally done logo. Another important thing. I think it's very, very important. Gives you a breakdown of characters. That's good. And as an FAQ, but you'd be surprised. You know, I never think about putting FAQs. So I just like, oh, I should have put FAQ. But I don't know. Maybe I should put an FAQ. I think I talk enough, but I could be wrong. Oh, there's a thought. So look, there's lots of stuff going on. There's information. There's good stuff. Boom. You can check it out. Okay. Let me see what other stuff can I find in here. The support levels. If you're going to ask questions, he gives a bio about himself. That's important. And he's already, let's see. He's already got 22 patrons. He's already $226. And good, he's got actually a goal too. Let's see how many goals he has. It's a 1,000. Okay, he has a goal at 500. He has a goal at 1,000. A goal at 2,000, 3,000, 4,000. So he stopped at 4,000. That was crazy enough. I went all the way to 10,000, even though I'm like, I just go back and forth to the chunk of my freelancing. Yes, that's good. See, the $500 goal is a reasonable goal, and it's a good goal that makes it reasonable for him also. You know, but let's be honest. You get the $500 goal on any of these, you're like, hey, that's enough money where I can stop doing something else to do this. That's why the $500 goal is very important for every Patreon. A lot of people don't know that. You can have like lower ones, but the $500 one is the one where you start going, whoo, I can stop that second job I got. You know, I can do this as my second job. So that's an important little factor there. The $1,000 goal. Art and edit. See, art is always important. You know how I feel about that. So art is very important. $1,000, good level for art, because you can actually afford some guys. And, you know, art's expensive. You know, art isn't cheap. And get a professional editor. I know. Professional editors cost. I know. You ain't kidding me on that one. Jesus, they are expensive. But worth their weight in gold. So you got to have one. Just the way it is. Layout. Well, you know, I'm all about layout. So let's just not even finish that one. I'm all about layout. Layout should be awesome. Period. 3,000. Media. Musical tracks. Oh, see, that's kind of nice. Okay, see, adding music, another thing that I think should be done more in this whole industry. I think music is one of those things that's not been added enough. That goes back to my whole feeling of I wish more things were like movie trailers. I wish we did more movie trailers for our intros for stuff, but I'll talk about that another day. That's a personal thing for me. I really think it'd be kind of cool. And at 4,000, game recording. Love to go. Friends to go. Yeah, record. That's I think is very cool. I think that's something people should do more of, like actually recording your game session. And I mean editing it down. I don't mean the other stuff of just the talking and the goofiness or whatever. I mean the good stuff. I mean the really, really good stuff. So there you go. See, I'm wondering. See, I'm looking at my Facebook. My Facebook looks really, really slow, which is surprising. But maybe I have too many things going on. It's connected to my Wi-Fi, and I've got a. God knows I have a fast connection. Maybe I should just drop some of this stuff out. That's what happens sometimes when you got like 12 different things open. You're like, let me see this, let me see this, let me see this, let me see this. God, I have a lot of stuff open. I didn't realize there's that much stuff is open in my thing. But get out of here. Goodness. Boom. So yes. So now back to Patreon, my views on Patreon. I think Patreon, I keep saying the word Kickstarter a lot for Patreon because I think this is the problem with Kickstarter, that you don't have the same problem with Patreon. It's that, what it is? It's that moment of, hey, I put all this money down and it's been 3 years and I still don't have the product. And people hate that. People hate that like with a passion, and they should, because my God, man, if you spend all that money on it, you should really, be doing that. Oh, it's just crazy. Okay, so I'm looking a little weird at my video, but it looks like my video is really choppy tonight, so I might have to do something I wasn't planning to do, but boom, get off of my Wi-Fi and just go direct. Because for some reason, I'm getting the choppiest video in the world today. No, I want to see this. Thank you. I want to see this. Thank you. I don't know where that's going on. And it looked like I just crapped out. Yep. And it looks like it's restarting. Yep. And go live. So once again, it looks like go live. This always upsets me so much. It looks like my Facebook is frozen. Is it? Oh, no, it's back. It's back. So what I'm going to do is put a link up, because God knows I can actually get these things to run correctly. I got to type this in. I guess we'll talk about this. Facebook Live crashed. YouTube link to watch. So now it's come to the conclusion of boom. And of course, there's 2 of them. Hey, everybody. Of course, my thing crashed again on Facebook, which I think is amazing that this thing crashes like this. But apparently, this is a new thing we're going to be doing on Facebook for a while. But this is the 2nd video in a row we've had this problem. So I'm kind of upset about that. With that said, I'm only going to start, I guess I'm going to start focusing on sending stuff to my YouTube page, which is so disturbing. I really don't like to do that because I like the live commentary. Okay, maybe I'm looking at this the wrong way. Maybe I could figure out a way to do this kind of live. Because I don't do it live on YouTube, but I think it's important to do it on Facebook. This is another one of those things that happen. See, today's been a horrible day. Today I'm going to go to bed. I'm going to go to sleep. I'm going to wake up, and tomorrow's going to be an awesome day because I'm going to focus on it. Yeah, David, the internet is, yeah. It's always, these are the problems when you do a show like this, because it is straight out. Like I said, I'm using my phone here and I'm using my video up there, and the YouTube looks great. It's it's in high resolution. We got people looking at it, got 3 viewers, and I wish they could comment, because I really haven't really set this up to really do comments. So I might have to start doing that now. This irks me. This irks me to my core. So yes, this is things I deal with, and like I was talking about with Patreon. So. Is that rain? Is it raining here? God, Florida. So once again, it's craziness. It's craziness. All right, focused. I thought it was my. No, it's my. Jason is definitely my phone. It is, and it's funny because I set it up to go through the Wi-Fi, no problem. My Wi-Fi is right. I mean, literally, it's maybe 1.5 feet, maybe. But it's not. So it is. So I just, it drives me crazy doing this stuff. So this is just a technical support problem. So back to Patreon. So Patreon, like I said, I think it's the new Kickstarter. I think a lot of people are going to be using it as Kickstarter. I think a lot of people should use it as Kickstarter. I think a lot of people don't understand how great it is. I think, it's a lot of good stuff out there. And I think you're going to see a lot more custom stuff. And I think you'll see people going into Patreon and coming out like, oh, I saw something cool I want to do for a couple months. Oh, I'm not doing as much. I'm going to stop it. Oh, I did something cool I want to do for a couple months. And you can go back in and out. I think that's where it's going to go. Like me, I'm testing out Infinite Dungeon. I got a theory about why I think Infinite Dungeon should do well. I think it's, like I said, we're a slow starter and we should be. We released a free product. We released a lot of free stuff for the donors. So if we like the free product release, you might join it. We put links everywhere we could. I think more people will be interested in checking it out and seeing more about it as it goes along. But I think once we do the first 3 levels, that would be the determination. The first 3 levels, if they're awesome, I think they're going to be awesome, we shouldn't have a problem. But we got to see how it goes. But I think, like I said, I go back to the same thing. The Kickstarter problem of failed projects are just not good. I mean, not good at all. So I don't know what that's about, but and there's so many people failing on the projects, and we're not talking normal name people of, this is a, but a lot of people have just been just diving just straight to the toilet. The one I want to bring up, I don't want to bring up because I don't sound like I'm hating on the person, but at the same time, dude, it's been 5 years. I gotta, it's hard for me not to mention bad Kickstarters and not mention that one. Far West is late. It's incredibly late. I mean, it's not. God, what's that one? The one I can't think of it now. The one that Hugo worked on that never came out. Quantum. It's not as late as Quantum. I mean, that thing was just that was a mess. And the sad part about that, there's so much good art in there. There's so much good art that was ooh, that's a good piece of art. That's a good piece of art. That's a good piece of art. And I don't even think he got paid for all that art. I don't think he did. I always thought about buying that art from him. But yeah, that was, that's another one. That's another one that should have come out that just didn't come out. And, it happens, man. It happens. People try things and they don't always work out the way they plan. And sometimes they melt down in the worst possible way. Yeah, the worst possible way. That was an embarrassing mess. But like I said, that's why I think Patreon is a better deal. I think you don't invest as much right up front. And if you don't think there's value, you can always quit. It's I signed up this thing for 3 months and I paid $5 a month and I got only 2 months worth of content, so I quit. So I don't feel so bad. You got that can happen. That's a way of looking at it. I think that's a strong way of looking at it. I think if done right, you can maximize this. Because look, there are guys on Patreon, once again, who are making hundreds of, maybe not. Well, yeah, hundreds of thousands of dollars. I was trying to say oh no, not anyone. Then I remember this. I'm gonna mispronounce her name or his name. I don't even know if it's a male or female. Sakami Chan. She does 28,000, little over 20,000 per session. Sorry, per term, and she has usually 1 to 2 terms per month. So for all you guys who didn't figure that math out real quick, on the month where she's got 2 terms, that's $56,000 she brings in. I know a lot of people here don't do $56,000 in a year, let alone in a month. So if you figure that, at the low end, she does 28 per month, and the high end, she does 56. 56,000 times 12 months means a whole lot of money. And he or she, is just drawing. So it's holy cow, man, that's crazy. So we go back. So there is ways to make fundamentally good money. Let's look at her. Look at her goals. This is kind of interesting. This will be interesting. Let's look at her goals. Her first goal initially, way back when, was $500 per term. And that was get shiny new pieces of art with work in progress sketches to go with it. That's what she did. 500, 1,000. Get PSD for the images that she does and high res version of the brushes she used. Okay. 1,500. I'll start doing voiceover tutorials like she's in class. Well, that was brilliant. 2,000. Get some comics for you in your hands. So she'll buy some comics. Okay, whatever. 4,000. So start doing workshops. 12,000. She went from 4,000 to 12,000. Now I want you just to stop and go. Her jump was $8,000 of a jump. If you think $8,000 is a smooth jump, that's crazy. If you think going from 4,000 to 12,000, I think it's crazy. But she got it. And she goes, I worked for a company called BioWare, and that's when it hits me in the face. Oh, you work for BioWare. I knew his or her. I still don't know. Art was awesome. And he goes, I worked for BioWare for a few years as a concept artist on the Mass Effects franchise. Wow, BioWare and Mass Effects. Well, geez, I guess you're going to get a whole lot of people who are fans. And that's what she did. And then this was she basically set up a tutorial class and workshops. And at this point, she can now make a living she could have made it at 4,000. Let's not call it like it. At $4,000 a month, she's making good money. I mean, a lot of people are I'd beg for $4,000 a month. But at $12,000 a month, she good. or he's good, or whoever's good. They're good. So here we go. Then it goes from 12,000 to 21,000. And it's like, and at that point, it really kind of doesn't matter, even because at that point, the money just becomes like just numbers, and then like she has one at 30,000, and then she's got one at 35,000. 35,000. She is $7,000 away from getting $35,000 a month, or per session doing this. So anywhere between $35,000 or $70,000 a month. $70,000 a month drawing. She can make more money drawing than most people do actually producing books and stuff like that. Now, the quality of the work, do I think it's amazing? Hell yeah, it's amazing. So, yeah, man, there's money to be made in this. I think it's just a long-term process. I don't know how long they've been working on it, but that's a prime example. Wesley Schneider. Oh, that's not good. Wesley Schneider's page on. Oh, that's not good at all. Is that my page? No, that's I went by Wesley Snyder's page and it says internal server error, which scares me. So I think you might need to check that out. Ooh, Wesley, that's not good. Well, let's check out who is it? Raging Swan. Raging Swan is a good page. You've been doing it for a long time. Another, am I not? No, I'm a little worried. That's 2 internal server errors in a row. So let me see if I'm really hooked up to the internet or something bad has happened. No, it's hooked up. That's weird. Is something going on with Patreon? Now I'm a little worried. Talking about Patreon, talking about this stuff, and then there might be a problem. Yep, there's a problem with Patreon. Well, this has been a lovely night. Internal server error. That's not good. Well, so if you have some free moments, I would check out Patreon to see all the cool stuff that's going on. If this internal server error isn't a huge mess, I hope they're not getting hacked with a denial of service, something crazy like that, because this would make this story go down real quick. And of course, it's perfect timing because it's almost 9:30. So I'm going to call it a day since I've had another crazy day of videos and problems. But I'm not going to let that stop me. I'm going to have a great afternoon, evening, night, do some more work, put some more stuff out, and be happy. But tomorrow's another day, and tomorrow's also comic book day. So we're going to have some cool comics to look at, having some fun, enjoying myself. There you go. So thank you, everybody, for stopping by. Sorry that this thing is falling apart. I don't know what's going on with the internet, but maybe there's a big attack on Patreon. I'm hoping it's not, because that would be disturbing. Yeah, that's not good. I'm hoping that's disturbing. Maybe we'll get it solved soon. I don't know. But I'm going to take my little self off and do some work. I will talk to you all later. You all have a good evening. Bye.